So today we have the most inspiring leader within Pakistan. I am so excited to interview him, Sir Faisal Mushtaq. Sir, please welcome here. I'm honored that I'm your student as well. So, sir, will you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Zilihuma, and I would like to congratulate the AirLink CEO Summit Islamabad 2023. My name is Dr. Faisal Mushtaq, and I am a happy teacher of society. I'm the chairman and chief executive of the Roots Millennium Education Group, the head of TMUC Transnational Education Group, and the president of a chartered university, the Millennium Institute of Technology and Entrepreneurship. We have been associated with teaching, learning, young people, innovation, and ideas for the last 35 years.
Sir, your work is amazing. I am so inspired of your work in transnational education, the way you have transformed education within Pakistan. My questions today will be a little different. I want to ask what are your regrets in your life, the way you have worked in education?
Honestly telling you, Zilihuma, no regrets. You know, I am a risk taker. I was born to a military family in a cantonment in Khania, Kent. And my mother always say that you were a big-headed baby. And I was a big-headed baby. And initially I had education in garrison schools. I went to army public schools because dad being subject to transfers and posting in the army. Later, he retired as a colonel. My mom was a passionate teacher and she gave us the best of education. Then I got selected into Cadet College Hassan Abdal. It was a prestigious boarding school, a lot of academic rigor, also a lot of ragging, but a lot of character building and discipline and courage. Then I went to the university in Manchester, did a degree in accounting and finance. Then I did a 1 year economics diploma from the London School of Economics, just like yourself.
Yeah.
And then I got a job with the PricewaterhouseCoopers financial consulting company as a management strategy consultant. Then I worked in the city of London. Then later I worked with IBM Business Consulting Services as financial management solutions consultant. So at a young age, I saw a competitive life. I saw the best of London. At the age of 21, I used to have my own apartment, my own car, on both on mortgage and lease, but I was independent. And and then one day I decided that I am going to write my story in a country where it is more likely to be read. And then I took the PIA plane 786, उसका number होता है PK 786, जो लंदन से इस्लामाबाद आती है. Usually उस पे politicians आते हैं क्योंकि वो सोचते हैं flight बिस्मिल्लाह है, उनकी जिंदगियां संवर जाएंगी. Then I came and I started teaching accounting because our school system was not that big. And then later on, I started a career with counseling, coaching, mentoring, and school leadership, management, opening up new schools, developing school development plans, designing teacher education, professional development programs, digital inclusivity. And I wanted to bring the best of the world. जब मैं सिंगापुर में जो चीज़ देखता था, जो कतर में देखता था, जो मलेशिया में और चाइना में और लंदन और अमेरिका में देखता था, लोग कॉफी शॉप लेके आते हैं, कोई पिज्जा हट लेके आता है, कोई गाड़ी लेके आता है. I brought the best of education to Pakistan for the benefit of Pakistanis, and DMUC is one such miracle of transnational education. I'm happily married. I had an arranged marriage. Didn't ask my wife any question before I got married, and I have two healthy, happy children. So I have no regrets. Alhamdulillah, I do not live in regrets.
So, what was the turning point when you all decided that you should be coming to Pakistan and dedicate your life here with all the facilities, leaving all of that there?
My passion, the environment in which I grew, I always saw my mother teaching children. And all the time, all day and night, she was on telephone, counseling teachers, mentoring teachers, that she was into changing lives. And I was very inspired at a very young age that how through her mentoring and coaching and her engagement, she is shaping and inspiring lives. When I started working for the corporate and the business world, there were a lot of profits, but it did not profit the society. So at a very young age, at the age of 22 years, without even having a master's degree, I realized that you see, I need to do something good for the society and for the social impact. There are always three things: people, planet, and profits. Everyone can make a profit, but not everyone can make a social impact on the people and planet. And I thought that education is one such denominator through which I will be able to make a sustainable change. Some people like to be in the government, they like to be ministers, they like to be senators, some want to be the prime minister. I wanted to be a teacher. And I get my buzz in opening new schools and talking to new teachers and engaging with my students like yourself. So that is my life, and my life is all about hope, change, Pakistan, and knowledge economy and society.
Sir, you have certainly changed the dynamics of education for youth, and I am personally witness of the way you have transformed quality education in Pakistan. And you are such an amazing and experienced leader. What do you think are the qualities of a leader that make a person stand out from everyone else?
That's a very good question, Zilihuma. The most important quality of the leader should be authenticity. A leader must be authentic because you can't botox a leader.
Yeah.
A leader can't have a filler. Now, I'm not saying in that term, but I'm saying that authentic leader. Number two, visible leadership. That the leader must be visible. People should not work for him. People should work with him. His job should be to empower more leaders. His job should be to incubate more talent. So people are an act of nature. We are full of talent. Leaders must nurture the talent. So the first attribute a good leader should have is authenticity. And the second one is visibility. And the third one is initiative. Be ready to take the risks because rewards are associated with risks. मैं बच्चों को कहता हूँ रिस्क में रिस्क है. So gone are the days if I prepare you, Zilihuma, and your friends across the country that beta, you will get a fine job in a government or a private company. You have had your own prime ministers, and you have heard the World Bank as well. That the future of jobs is not about job seeking; it is about job creating. So my vision is, you are not going to get a job for 100,000 rupees a month. You will create 100 jobs a month, and the Pakistan's potential for digital economy, scale and size still has a lot of advantage to our younger people.
That's a very good lesson to me as well, and for youth as well. So, where do you see Pakistan in like 5-10 years? The way your educational institutes are changing the system within the country. How do you see Pakistan will progress with that?
If you say that regret, my only worry is that in any society or in any country or a civilized nation state, private sector cannot do the job of the government. I feel for the out of school children in Pakistan. I feel for my government schools quality and standard. I feel for the lack of equity and access towards quality education for young boys and girls across the Pakistani provinces. So I feel that Pakistan's, if we really have to be able to stand up over the next 5 to 10 years, we must invest through the public education system in our human capital development, and we must address the issue of out of school children. 2 crore 50 lakh children are out of school, second highest number after Nigeria. I am very optimistic about the future of Pakistan. Clearly, we are going through the most challenging time, but we have always been in a bit of a challenge. I do feel the country has the potential. However, education and schools, they build a knowledge society. Universities and research, they build a knowledge economy. So if the country has to go forward, there has to be a collective wisdom and consensus on education and education and education with consensus on population control. For the first time, China, with its one-child policy, they've been able to control population. And we need to have a vertical society, not just horizontal society. And we must also respect the social contract and the political contract, and the dialogue must go on.
So, sir, that's very good, and that's very important and necessary. Every day when I go to TMUC, I walk upstairs, and on my class is on the fourth floor, and then I see your bio. I read it there. So you worked on like education sector in public education sector in Punjab as well. So what was your take over there, and how do you think we can transform that?
It shows that you have done your research clearly. So I had an opportunity to be a minister in the interim government
Yeah.
of Punjab for 4 months. So I was the minister for school education, social welfare, population, Baitul Mal, and human rights. So my take is that Punjab has 34, 36 districts. Punjab, really, the job has to be done by the provincial minister for education and the secretary education and the chief minister. And trust me, I met a lot of talented people. I always say that opportunity is not universal. Talent is universal. There's a talented person in Palestine, there's a talented person in Pakistan. But it's all about opportunity. Are our talented people getting the opportunity? Also, talent is asymptomatic. So I met a lot of people from the rural centers, social welfare center, education, special children, families, out of school children. And I feel the basic system of governance is there. And I think government needs to put three things. Put the bill, give public education system a lot of funding because the GDP education is very low if we want to have a overall GDP growth. So the GDP allocation to education is low. Government should fund the bill. They should have the skill. They should must have the right ministers and people to do the job. And number three, they must have the political will. It should
Yeah.
be their priority. Motorways and infrastructure and housing societies and plazas are not going to make Pakistan. Education and a knowledge society shall be able to make Pakistan a literate and a responsible country amongst the global committee of nations.
Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely, we need to invest in the education of the country, and that's very right, valid point. What is your message for the youth of the country as of considering the current economic crisis that we are going through?
The message to the youth is that as much as they like to watch Stranger Things, they should also have stranger ideas, innovative ideas, disruptive ideas. Don't get carried away by the reminiscence and the legacies of the past. Try to understand that the only thing which is certain is called uncertainty. The only constant in the world is called change. So, in our parents used to tell us that money does not grow on trees. Now I tell my students, beta, money grows on trees because the more trees we plant, the more carbon credits we get and the more carbon emissions we get, and we are responsible citizens like that. And then someone used to tell us that slow and steady wins the race. The kachwa in Khargosh, उस बंदे को जेल में डालो जिसने ये बोला. Slow and steady does not win the race. It is the fast and consistent who wins the race. So the message of the youth is, if you want to do it, then you need to do it yourself. You should rise up, come up with different ideas, stranger ideas, disruptive ideas, put together, be a risk taker. Take the risk. If you fail, does not matter. You will rise again. Do jobs, learn, gauge that experience, learn from the seniors, take advice from the parents. But most important message for the youth is mental health and well-being. Happiness is important. Facebook is the name of a fake book to me. And these Instagrams, doom scrolling, it really does not matter. What really matters is that your head, heart should be at the right place, and young people should be able to do things with their own hands and consider Pakistan as their home. So, head, heart, hands, and home.
Oh, very brilliant. And thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. It was a very good and informative session with you. And it was really my dream to actually learn from you and interview you. And it's very glad. I'm very glad that I did it. And thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Well
Thank you
done
for
for
your
your
time. Thank you.